Hello, I have some new shadows to share with you from Looxi's relaunch because they relaunched. They don't post much, so I was wondering if I missed something about them like closing down and relaunch, and I did look back and see that they had a Black Friday post where they said then that they were discontinuing all of their current shadows and putting them on sale until they sold out so they could launch new in the new year. I didn't pay much attention to that because I pretty much buy everything I want from their launches, so there's nothing for me to buy from them on Black Friday. But I saw in the comments some people being disappointed that there were some shadows already out of stock that they now wouldn't have a chance to purchase again. But yeah, in conclusion, they shut down and relaunched. They sent out the email about it on December 31st at like 5 p.m. and then their first launch was on January 1st at noon Eastern time. And it included 20 permanent shimmers, and then I think there was 10 of these new Artisan shadows, and it said in the email that these Artisan shadows had like better ingredients. Let me see exactly what they said. Okay, they didn't even say anything about better ingredients. They just said a smaller, more manageable number of shadows with all the gorgeous colors and value you have come to expect from us. So not a lot of information. Once they're sold out, they won't be available again. But I guess the shimmers are something that's more of a permanent line, even though they didn't specifically say that. But yeah, after I got this email, I was like, I have no idea what to expect from this Artisan page. I don't know if all of a sudden we're gonna be getting some like $20 Cleona shadows. I didn't know. But it ended up being that their shimmers that they were launching were the same $3 that they had previously been, and then these Artisan shadows were $5. So the questions I had, and still have, but from seeing them now that I unbox them, I have like a little bit more of an idea. I was wondering if the $3 shadows are going to be like a continuation of what they normally have, and then the $5 shadows are going to be better, or if the $5 shadows are going to be kind of just like them upping the price for the better type of shadows that they've been selling already, and the $3 are just like worse, or maybe the quality, the staying power is going to be better. That's something I don't have an answer for yet, but these are the shades that I picked out. I got 6 of the regular shimmers and then 6 of the Artisan. So these 2 rows here are the regular shimmers, and these 2 rows here are the Artisan shades. And I could already tell from looking at them that these look like the more sparkly shadows that I prefer, and these look like basic shimmer shadows. Looking at these, I have very little hopes for these actually. They look pretty bad in my opinion, or just not what I like, but these look nice. I don't know, sometimes when I'm swatching, there's duds, so in a way it's kind of nice if I know that like the $3 ones are duds, they don't apply to me, they're not the type of shadow that I'm looking for, and then maybe the $5 I can count on more. But I guess we'll find out also if maybe the $5 ones, are there still going to be inconsistencies within them? Or are some of the $3 ones going to be awesome and other ones are just bleh? So I should have said this in the beginning, but I will be swatching these 12 on my eyes to hopefully get some answers. But yeah, I'm really curious about how this is going to go. I picked these out really quickly because I was scared about them selling out, especially the Artisan shades that they said won't be restocking, and there were some I saw right away that I was super excited about and I didn't want to risk those selling out. So I picked pretty quickly. I did kind of like go back through what they had afterwards, and I was kind of like, oh, I would have gotten that one instead of one of these had I had more time, because there was no pictures before the launch. There was no information before the launch. No idea what I was getting into, so I was in kind of like a champagne-y mood, I guess, when it launched. So let's start with the regular shimmers and see how it goes. Also, I just looked. All of the Artisan shades are still available right now, and a couple of the regular ones are still available. So I wonder if they just made like a bigger quantity of the Artisan ones or something. But that's interesting because those are the ones that I was more scared of selling out. So the first one is a sold out one. It's called Naked Eye. It just looks kind of white in the pan. as most kind of like iridescent shadows do. I don't know if I can count on this being anything iridescent or special based on it being one of the $3 shadows, but it looked kind of like a glowy pink to me in their swatch, so that made me interested in it. It says it's an iced out white shimmer with purple pink reflex. So I'm going to pop it all over my lid, but usually this kind of shadow I just wear as an inner corner most of the time. It feels very light. I kind of call this like a slippery shadow. I like when shadows pick up more on my finger, but this didn't pick up very much. But as an inner corner, that might be fine. I kind of judge those differently sometimes. Huh. I don't know what to make of this. I definitely see that like pinky purple, but it's very sheer. It feels like I have nothing on my eyelid. Just for fun, I do want to pop this on this inner corner just to see what happens. I'm going to use my regular inner corner, just like a small little brush. It has like some nice glow to it, but I don't even know if it's enough shimmer that I would want to wear it on my inner corner. Yeah, not much to it. Not very excited about it. I'll definitely try it out because sometimes, like, you know, if I wear like one of those super iridescent reflecty ones from like Terra Moons or something on my inner corner, it can feel like too much. I don't think I run the risk of that with this one, but it also might not be enough. On my other eye, I'm gonna go into Champagne Dreams. You see, it just looks so flat in the pan. Like, it almost looks matte in the pan. The description for this is just the champagne shimmer of your dreams. I'll be the judge of that. This feels a little thicker than the first one, actually. Like, I can actually see where I picked it up in the pan, and it has like a little bit more texture on my finger. Okay. Alright, that one's not awful. Okay, my feeling on this is that if you don't have a lot of makeup and you want just like a plain shimmer to wear on your lid, very non-offensive, or if you're someone that like never wears eyeshadow and you want like a little something for like a night out, but like something really sparkly would be too intimidating, this is fine. But I've been making kind of an active effort to get rid of my single shadows that are like this because I have palettes that I want to hold on to, and a lot of my shadows and palettes are less impressive than single shadows that I have, and I have this type of shadow in palettes. I even think like my BH Weekend Festival, which is like a palette that I'm currently using, that I think falls into that category of like the shimmers don't totally amaze me. There's definitely a shimmer just like this in that palette. So yeah, it's fine, not offensive, but doesn't really do much for me. Now, I did see when I was wiping it off that that pink one, that Naked Eye, did have a little bit of that like micro sparkle that I tend to like, and even I still see some of that sparkle on my lid after I took it off. I don't know if it's coming across here. I tried to take a picture of it when it was on to show what I was seeing in my other mirror, but it wasn't really capturing on my phone camera either. So just something to note, I think it did look a little bit better in person than it did on the camera, but there are so many shadows out there that look awesome both in person and on camera, so I don't really want to make too many excuses for them. Also, by the way, I know sometimes I wear concealer on my eyelids. Today I'm not. We're just doing bare-ass eyelids. The next one up is called Pop the Top. It looks just like a little bit more gray taupey than the last one did, but still very much like a champagne-y shade. It's described as a toasted metallic champagne shimmer, perfect for celebrating any time. This one feels more like the first one than the second one. Yeah, very thin and smooth. I don't know what to say. I'm not impressed. It's fine, and it's the kind of thing that if it was in a Too Faced palette in 2015, I would have used it and it would have been fine, but Looxi just has such better shadows than this. Usually by the time I've tried 3 of them on, there's something that I'm impressed by. But this ain't it. This next one is Daydreamer, and I know this looked super pretty in the swatch. And I think even like in the pan, the colors in the pan look a little bit more varied, a little bit less flat than some of the other ones did. So hopefully this one will be good. It's just described as a metallic pink shimmer. This one feels like the last one. Really thin on my finger. Okay, it's picking up the light a little bit better. Okay, this is by far the best one so far. I just feel like this shadow's so flat, and this shadow looks more like a shimmer. This is like a satin. This is like a shimmer. Not the best shade I've ever tried, definitely, but I like the tone of it, and I feel like you can see more variance in it. So yeah, this one's alright. This one's cute. Okay, 2 more of these regular shimmers to get through before we can move on to what I hope is the good stuff. This one is called Pink Linen. It's described as a metallic dusty pink shimmer. I would call it like a pink taupe. And I think this one looks kind of pretty in the pan also. I have higher hopes for this one. I think this one might be like the last one. Feels a little grittier than the last one. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty. Yeah, you can actually see the shimmer there. It looks like something metallic on my eye. Yeah, Pink Linen is alright in my book. Alright, cool. This last one that I picked up of the regular shimmers is called Kiss of Death. It's a red that I was very excited to get. It was like one of the ones that I saw and I was like, this one's like a definite. But looking at it, it just looks kind of flat in the pan. Did anyone else have the Royal Blood from Jeffree Star a couple years ago? It was like the purple palette that he had. I don't buy from Jeffree Star anymore, but I used to. And I remember seeing that red and that was kind of like a big sell. And I just remember that being so like dry. Like it was like a shimmer, but it was just like this like thick, dry pigment that didn't even look shimmery. And this is like giving me flashbacks to it, just since it doesn't look shimmery in the pan. But we'll find out. It's described as a bright and vivid red shimmer. It seriously feels like the Jeffree Star one already. Like it doesn't look shimmery on my finger really, right? It just looks like pigment piled on top of itself, like with like a satin. Oh god. What is that? Like this isn't shimmery. It's just like chalky. Like I feel like this would be way better as a matte than it would as a shimmer. It's like in my crease, it looks like I put down like a matte red and then like packed on like a little bit of a satin on my lid. But like it's all the same shade with my finger. Yeah, that's not shimmery. I'm not a big fan of this. For fun though, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's put a little Daydreamer on top of her. That was that peach that we did last before this one. Yeah, like that makes it look like a shimmer. But on its own, it's just not a shimmer. And like it's not as smooth as a matte. It would just be like harder to work with than a matte, but not shimmery at all. Just kind of like a dud shade in my opinion. I like the color of it, but like if the formula sucks, then the color doesn't really do anything. This one's nice still though. We've finally entered the Artisan shades. I really hope these are good. I don't want to be so negative this whole time. The first one we're going to start with is called Pink Lemonade. And you could just tell looking at the pan that it just looks more shimmery. Actually, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell that it just looks more shimmery. But this one in particular, in the pan, looks very similar to ones we've already seen from them. So if it is a more duochromatic shade, you never know if it's gonna like look the same once it's swatched out. But for example, this is Flutter from their Butterfly Kisses collection. And this is Pink Lemonade. They look very similar in tone. I'd say Flutter does look more reflective in the pan, but it's dug into and maybe that helps. I'm not sure, but just something I wanted to note. So yeah, the description for her says that this pretty pink has shifts of gold and green. Since it's just like such a small jump and $3 for some of them has been like such a steal. Okay, doesn't feel like my favorite formula, feels kind of thin, but I can see some variation in color, so that's pretty. Oh, it looks really pretty there. Huh, add a little bit more on. You can't even see the pink here, huh? It does look like a more sparkly finish. It's funny that like you can't really see the pink at all. Maybe a little bit you can see the, like it flips to pink. Like it looks more of like a yellowy shadow that flips to pink than a pink shadow that flips to yellowy. I could see myself using this more so as the inner corner shade. And just for fun, maybe we could try that out. I'm gonna use my same brush as before. I kind of shoot off any pigments from it. It actually looks really pretty in the inner corner, and I think even just like with the more contours in that area, you could see the flips more. That makes me like lose all hope for naked eye before, because this looks so much nicer in my inner corner. So yeah, I don't think I would wear this at all on my lid, but definitely in the inner corner. So the next one we have is called Rosè, and this one looks really pretty. This was one of the couple that when I opened, I was like, all right, I could see that working out. It kind of reminds me of Angel Wings, which I think I've decided is my favorite Looxi shadow ever. It was from the Butterfly Kisses collection, and it was definitely one that when I first had, I was kind of like about, but it's like the prettiest wet look shimmer for like a simple look. I love it so much, and this reminds me of that, just in the pan, off the bat. It's described as a metallic champagne with shifts of rosy pink. It feels very textured. Yeah, it feels thicker on my finger. Cool. I want to clarify that I don't think it has that same specialness of Angel Wings, but I do think it's kind of like it meets my bare minimum requirements for a champagne shade, which those couple before definitely did not. This one, I like that you can see that rosy base when I face forward. You could definitely like tell that it has that like micro shimmer to it that I really like. I don't think it's like the most special shade, but I think it's pretty. And I could see myself actually wearing this for like a simple one shimmer on the lid kind of look. And by the way, at the end, I'm going to swatch these out, maybe do some comparisons. Someone on Instagram, I've been trying to post on Instagram more, asked me if Rosè was at all similar to JD Glow Unexpected, so I'll be doing a comparison about that at the end. But yeah, the next one is the one that I was the most excited about based on how it looks in the pan. This one is called Hot Rod, and that looks pretty. It kind of reminds me of like maybe Cliona Grisaille a little bit, that like intense rosy base with like light reflecting shimmers on top. It's interesting because this one looks so much more gold in the pictures online that I'm happy that I ended up picking it up, or at least happy so far. The description of this is the unsuspecting golden appearance has shifts of red, orange, and silver. So let's try it out. Oh, it does say now, I don't know if it always said this or not, but for added intensity, use your fave mixing medium with a flat shader brush. Do people really use mixing mediums? All right, I like how this feels. Okay, this is definitely my favorite one. I think even that description doesn't do it justice. Like, I don't think this is gold at all. I'd say if anything, it's like a bronzy base with like cool tone shimmers in it. I don't know, maybe it's not my job to describe colors for a reason, but I think this one's really pretty. This is the kind of shade that I really like, and I love that those shimmers are different enough from the base that they really stand out, and I think that's what makes this special. So yeah, this one's definitely my favorite, and I can see myself using this one. The next one is called Moth to a Flame, and this one doesn't look as shimmery in the pan, in my opinion. It kind of looks just like a more basic warm bronze. Yeah, I'm remembering that the pictures of this looked very like shifty of this like warm bronze to like a real like reddish. So that was cool. It's described as a burnt orange with shifts of copper red, gold, and brown. Okay, feels nice. Yeah, I like when I can like feel it kind of like moving apart in the pan and really picking up on my finger. Okay. All right, I don't dislike it, but I just wish that like shimmer on top was more pronounced. A little bit more or something. Looxi even has some like really cool shades, or they did, especially in like the Halloween Treats collection. I think that was like a 2020 collection, and they had a couple that were kind of like a brownie shadow but had like a really intense shimmer on top. And I feel like this was going for that kind of thing, but it just doesn't hit the shimmer on top. So yeah, it's nice, but I just feel like it needs more. Like, this is not doing for me what this is doing for me, you know? My eyes hurt, and we have 2 left, so thankfully I can leave these on for a couple hours and give my eyelids a break. 12's kind of a lot of shadows to swatch. Okay, the penultimate shadow is called Fuschia AF. This was one that I was instantly really excited for because I love a good hot pink shadow. I like that it looked like it was teetering that brink between pink and purple. In the pan, I'm a little bit less convinced. It just looks very purple. I mean, I guess we'll see. But I feel like I've seen this pan before from Looxi, so that kind of makes me skeptical. It's described as a vivid fuchsia with shifts of red/pink, purple, and blue. Feels a little bit tougher in the pan, like less picking up. And it feels a little thinner when I put it on. Okay, that's giving me that pink. Okay, so I like the tone of this. I was nervous it was going to be more purple than I wanted, and I think it does teeter that line that I wanted between fuchsia and purple. But just like the last one, I wish it had more shimmer to it. I think it's pretty, but I just can't imagine myself wearing this as like this being the pop on the lid. I feel like anytime I wear this, I would want to add something on top. And I mean, I have a big collection, it can be fun to layer, but I just have so many shadows that I don't need to layer. So it draws me more away from shadows that I do need to layer. So yeah, pretty color, not all about the formula. Okay, this final one is Dark Waters, and it looks much brighter here in the pan than it did in the product picture, which I'm happy about. It's described as a phenomenal electric blue with shifts of purple. Kind of feels like the last one. Okay, that looks pretty. Oh. I really like this one. Wow, I can't believe you can see that purple. I was not expecting that. I feel like I'm kind of used to it with Looxi, that they promise these shifts that just like, I can never see. But this one, I see that purple. And I think this has a decent amount of shimmer. Yeah. All right, cool. I can get behind this one. I do feel like it could use a little bit more Baba-Voom, but I'm happy enough with this shift that I'll take it. I'm gonna see if I can make this into a look without taking anything off right now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I turned those swatches into a look, and I like it. It's a look. I like it a lot. It kind of even makes me look on this one a little bit more favorably, because I really do like the color of it. So yeah, I just added a little transition to my top. I'm wearing Pink Lemonade as an inner corner on both eyes, and doesn't that look really pretty? And then on my lower lash lines, I just extended the same shimmer down, and then I added a little bit of this dark water one onto this purple eye, because this one was just looking a little bit light in comparison. I'm into it. I like it. So I don't think I'm going to go through one by one and rank them. just because it's kind of a lot. And like certain questions, like, do I like the worst Artisan shadow better than the best shimmer? Well, I want to say I don't know, but now I'm thinking yeah. Either way, I don't think I'm going to be purchasing from the shimmer line. I don't know. Right now, I feel like in the future, I won't be purchasing from like the regular permanent shimmer line anymore. I feel like I learned enough, and I learned that those are just really basic shimmers that I'm not interested in anymore. And I hope that if they continue to put out shadows as like a collection launch, as they've been doing for a while, I hope that those launch as Artisan shadows and not as the regular shimmers, just because I feel like these regular shimmers are a big step back from what they've been doing for a while. So yeah, to answer my question from before, I think these $3 shimmers are worse than the $3 shadows that they used to have. And I think that the $3 shadows that they used to have are now the $5 Artisan shadows. But when I say worse, obviously it's subjective to me. I like things that are duochromatic and really sparkly, and if it's not that, then it's just not my vibe. So yeah, out of those $3 shimmery ones, my two favorites, I guess I'll start doing some swatches now. Take off my watch. My two favorites from those shimmery ones are Pink Linen and Daydreamer. So this is Pink Linen and Daydreamer. They just kind of had the most reflection out of all of them. I think they're basic shadows, but they're cute for what they are. They're cute, and I don't mind having these in my collection. The next two are the ones that I'm a little bit on the fence about, which is Naked Eye, that like pinkish, whitish one, and then Kiss of Death, this red one that I like the tone of, but just doesn't give me any shimmer. So this is Naked Eye and Kiss of Death. Doesn't that look like I just put a matte? Like, look at those two next to those first two. Like, I think that shows exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like not the same at all. This straight up looks like a matte. And then these two champagne-y ones really didn't need. It's Champagne Dreams and Pop the Top. So Champagne Dreams and Pop the Top. Yeah, maybe in formula, they're slightly better than the formula of these two, but just the colors are so boring, and you could tell that the formula is not as reflective as these two here. Yeah, and then for the Artisan shadows, my favorite one is going to be that Hot Rod, and my second favorite is going to be this Dark Waters. So this is Hot Rod, that's so pretty, and Dark Waters. And then my next two favorites are going to be that Pink Lemonade. I really, really like how that looks in my inner corner. And this Fuchsia AF. So that's Pink Lemonade and Fuchsia AF. And then I guess that leaves my bottom two of the Artisan ones to be Rosè and Moth to a Flame. How did I feel about Rosè? I know I just did that, but oh yeah, that one I thought was nice, right? Or like my bare minimum for a champagne. Yeah, that one was nice. Didn't blow my socks off. And then we have Moth to a Flame, which is pretty, but I just feel like I have other similar ones that give me more shimmer than this one does. So yeah, there's the 12 that I just tried on my eyeballs. Just for a couple little comparisons. I don't really have much like specific I want to compare, but I will talk about Unexpected for a second. I don't think I would have, no, I definitely would not have thought of this, but I did get that Instagram comment that said that they thought it might be similar. They don't have Unexpected. I don't know if they know how actually incredibly out of this world this shadow is, but it might be similar in tone, kind of. But this just has like such unbelievable sparkle. So yeah, we were talking about Rosè, right? So Rosè was this shadow, and here's Unexpected. So you can see Unexpected is more champagne-y, I want to say. Comparatively, Rosè looks a lot more pink, and this one has more brown to it. And you can just see from the formula, it has so much more glitter to it. I would say if you are at all conflicted between one of these and something like this JD Glow Shadow is $8.25. They have 30% offs or 40% offs, you know, a couple times a year. Go for this one before this, like, definitely. Like, this shadow is so good. It's bigger. You're definitely getting your money's worth. It's so good. And then I thought just to talk about formula for a second, maybe I'll swatch a couple of my favorite Looxi shadows and maybe a couple of my least favorite that I still have in my collection. I've decluttered my like real least favorites. Angel Wings. We'll swatch Angel Wings. She's so good. This one's more of like a smooth formula, but like it also kind of feels kind of like jelly and just so shimmery and pretty. I'll swatch it here. I think you can see that the sparkle kind of like reminds me the most of Rosè, just like with the reflectiveness. Not Rosè, I'm sorry, I'm talking about this one here, which is Hot Rod. Yeah, Angel Wings is one of my favorites. Another favorite is Hybrid, which is in my random palette for this month. I'll swatch the one here. I want to say Hybrid's like a kind of like a cooler tone version of this Hot Rod one. But I think it looks better in the swatch. I don't know. And then just one more for fun. Since I mentioned Grisaille, I'll swatch Grisaille. Oh, I don't know if I can get this out. Okay, I'm not going to take it out just to hold it up. But it's this one right here. Next to the green one. That one right there is Grisaille. It's a hard thing with those like rectangular or square pans. If they're all next to each other, taking them out is an ordeal. Okay, so we have Hot Rod here. So Grisaille is definitely more sparkly. Cleona does it so well. And it's definitely way more purpley also than Hot Rod. So yeah, that's gonna be everything. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, it means a lot to me. I try to do these Looxi videos whenever they have a new collection, and hopefully they'll keep releasing the Artisan, because I really don't want to do the regular shimmers again. And thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.